Hello, my name is Carla Paulo. Today I will be presenting my analysis of the Melbourne property market. In the following slides, I will walk you through the key findings and insights from the report. This presentation is organised as follows. I'll first discuss the research objectives and the methodology behind the analysis. Then I will present the descriptive statistics and key property features, followed by details on confidence intervals, hypothesis tests, and regression analysis. And finally, I will conclude with my key conclusions and recommendations. The goal of this study is to uncover underlying trends in Melbourne's property market. I analyse variables such as dwelling type, price, sales method, the distance from CBD, and various property features. This approach enables a comprehensive look at what drives market behaviour. This slide describes the data and the methods used. I selected 200 transactions at random from a total of 20,760 transactions. After collecting the data, I applied several statistical techniques, such as computing descriptive statistics, constructing confidence intervals, conducting hypothesis tests, and running a regression analysis to derive insights that follow. This slide provides the distribution of dwelling types. As we can see from the slide, houses make up 76% of the transactions, unit accounted for 17.5%, and townhouses represented 6.5%. This indicates that the market is heavily skewed towards houses, and this is an important insight when assessing buyer preferences. This slide illustrates the variation in property prices. The average price is around $2 million, but the range is quite wide, from $388.5 to nearly $7 million. This diversity reflects a market that caters for both cost-sensitive buyers and those in luxury segment. Now, this slide examines two aspects of the market. The line graph shows that sales peak in September. This indicates there are seasonal trends. Meanwhile, the distance data indicates that on an average, properties are located about 11 kilometres from the CBD, though there is considerable variation, highlighting the geographic diversity of the properties. Now, this slide demonstrates that the key property features were predominantly 3-bedroom, had an average of 2 bathrooms, and mostly 2 car spaces. Now, confidence intervals helps us assess the precision of our estimates. For example, in the Eastern Metro region, we're 95% confident that the true average property price is between 1.95 and 2.64 million. Similarly, for units, the average distance from the CBD is slightly estimated between 6.66 and 9.39 kilometres. This confirms our sample mirrors the broader market trend. Now, in this analysis, our hypothesis test found no statistically significant difference between the prices of properties sold after auction versus those sold before listing. While properties sold after auction showed a higher average price, This suggests that the difference is likely due to random variation rather than meaningful price advantage. This result indicates that auctions do not necessarily command higher prices and that other factors such as demand and location play a greater role in determining the final sales value. We did a second hypothesis test. In this analysis, we looked at whether there is a meaningful difference in the price of a 3-bedroom home compared to a 4-bedroom home. The data shows that on average, a 4-bedroom property sells for approximately 2.5 million, which is significantly higher than the 1.9 average price of a 3-bedroom home. To confirm whether this difference is due to market trends rather than just random chance, we use the comparison test. The result, a p-value of 0.00166, this tells us that the price gap between these two groups is statistically significant, meaning that the larger home size adds real value in the market. This insight is important for both buyers and sellers. Buyers seeking a 4-bedroom home should expect higher cost. The benefit of an additional bedroom has a clear impact on the pricing. Also, investors looking at renovations or property developments should also keep this in mind when deciding on how many bedrooms to include in a home. This slide presents the result from a regression analysis of property prices and distance from the CBD. While properties closer to Melbourne CBD tend to be more expensive, distance alone is not a strong predictor of price. The regression line in this slide indicates that for each extra kilometre from the CBD, the price drops by approximately 38k. However, the R-squared value of 0.0474 or 4.74% of price variation, this tells us the distance only explains a small portion of the variation in prices, suggesting that many other factors may impact property values, such as property features, demand, and regional desirability. To conclude, the findings show Melbourne's property market is dominated by houses, with prices varying significantly. The study indicates that while location, specifically proximity to the CBD, does influence property prices, factors like the number of bedrooms are equally important. This means that property evaluation should consider a wider range of features to provide a more complete understanding of the market. Moving forward, expanding the data set and include additional variables such as economic conditions and local amenities could provide a deeper market understanding and further enhance the depth of this analysis. Thank you. This concludes the presentation.